caffeine book review. Today we're going to start with about 31 grams of coffee. So here we're gonna look at the beans for a moment. These are from Caffeine Legends subscription box. It's 7 beans for beginning. It's a dark roast. And what we're gonna do is, we've been letting this steep for about 4 minutes. And once this is finished, we can then pour our coffee. So what we're going to do is, when the timer goes off, we will push the plunger down. All right, so we know that this is a fairly weak coffee. I was playing around with how many grams of coffee to add. It's currently hotter than the sun. So let's add some of that steamed milk since I did make this lighter on purpose, and we'll give it a try. Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Wendy, and today we're going to do another coffee and book review. So you already saw me making the coffee. It was a French press. I used 31 grams of beans to 4 cups of water, and I also steamed a little milk to make it like a latte-esque, sort of fun and different. Yeah, these beans were dark roast, and I did get them in a Caffeine Legends box, which I did not unbox for you. But going forward, I will be unboxing, so I put some of these book subscriptions here so that you can see them. And today, the book that we're going to talk about is Sons, Daughters by Ivana Bodrožić. She's a Croatian author, and gotta love some coffee. And the book was originally written in Croatian, and it was translated into English since I do not know Croatian. The book was written in 2024. And so this book, I'll read the back. It says, and I know I'm going to be butchering these names because I do not know how to speak Croatian at all. But we're going to just go with it because it's a reading, and reading is fun. So the blurb on the back says, Lucia opens her eyes to find that she is in a hospital, paralyzed and incapable of speech. Though she is immobile, her mind reels, memories of the past, a salve and a burden. She sifts through her life, a family broken by the Croatian War of Independence, a difficult and overbearing mother, a strained relationship with a lover who struggles to feel at home in his own body. Lucia's mother and boyfriend. The other two characters in this polyvocal novel aren't bedridden like Lucia, but they too experience their own kinds of locked-in syndrome. Sons, Daughters is a story of hidden relationships, the prison of the body, and the violence of a male-dominated society. Yet, it is also a moving tale of lives lived in resistance to oppressive confinement, a novel that testifies to the punk resilience of the human spirit. So what I'll say about this is, this book, the main character is the woman Lucia, and she has the locked-in syndrome, which basically means that she's paralyzed and she can't talk, but she's fully aware of everything that goes around her. The one thing she can do is she can blink, and she can look vertically. That's pretty much the extent of everything she can do. But again, she's completely there in her mind, and she's abundantly aware of everything that's going around her. So Lucia got that way because she was in a car accident. She had left her boyfriend's house, and a train was coming, and for whatever reason, she decides to go around the barriers, and she winds up getting hit by the train. So it's a pretty horrific accident. And the story is spoken from the three narrative perspectives of, again, her mother, her boyfriend, and Lucia. This book does have some trans literature in it. The boyfriend is a trans man, and so his perspective that you get is from everything that makes him who he is today. And then the mother's perspective is again from her perspective of a young woman who has just recently gotten married, recently gotten pregnant, lives through the Croatian War, and how she interacts with her daughter. And then there's not necessarily a sub-narrative, but you have this interaction with the doctor and some of the other friends that are throughout the book. So overall, this book is very, very heart-wrenching. You will definitely want to be in the mood for this book. It's very beautifully written, even though it's translated into English. It doesn't have any of that weird, clunky translated feel, so it's very beautifully written. The language in it is really, really pretty and almost poetic in a way. The author really brings about the character development, so you've really got strong character development in here. The other thing I will say about this is I did rent this from the library, so I do actually need to give it back actually in a couple of days. I sat on it for a while because I was like, I don't know if I'm really in the mood for quite a heavy, heartbreaking tale. But I did read it, and I'm glad I did. It's really, really heart-wrenching. And I definitely recommend it. I gave this a 4-star review. I feel like I'm a little free with my reviews because I will read pretty much anything. And it takes a lot for me to give it less than a 3-star review. So this one again, I gave a 4-star. I did choose it as part of the translation challenge for QWERTY's hrcyed, which is the hardest reading challenge you'll ever do. And so I did read this one for the translation challenge. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And then, what else can I say? There are a couple of different book covers for this. I personally like this one because it's got the darker colors, and it's got, you know, the people there that are very thin and frail looking. Yeah, so that's my book review for today. Please like and subscribe, leave a comment if you will. If there's anything you think that I would be interested in reading, go ahead and give me that recommendation and I will definitely add it to my list. My next video, I will be unboxing maybe one of these. The next book that I'm going to be reading, because it is also a library book. And it is due in, I think, a few days. It's not due till the 20th, but still, I'm going to be reading this one next. It's The Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. For a person who reads, I definitely cannot read names very well. But this is apparently part of the Grisha trilogy, which I don't actually know which book this is. I'm just doing a little double check. I do like when books have maps though. That's nice. I must just be crazy. Because there's 3 books here, which is Shadow and Bone, Siege and Storm, Ruin and Rising, and then 6 of Crows, which is 4, which is not a trilogy. So anyway, I have no idea which book this is out of the trilogy. But it's the one I will be reading after I finish my current book, which is A Flame and Fury. So that will be my next one, actually. Forgot I was reading that. A Flame and Fury. The other thing I'm reading right now is Kaplan's Plot. I actually won that in a Storygraph giveaway. So feel free to follow me on Storygraph. I'll leave my link to my Storygraph down below. And then also feel free to follow me on Goodreads also. I try to keep them both in sync, so you'll know what I'm reading. But yeah, I'm reading A Flame and Fury, and I'm reading Kaplan's Plot right now. Then I will read these, or this, I should say, because I have till the 20th to read this, and this book is 465 pages, so yeah, that's it. Thank you. Like and subscribe, and please leave a comment. Thank you.